Hey guys, it's Sarah. If you're new here, welcome to the channel where I tell the stories that still make my heart race every time I think about them. Hit subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment so I know you're here, because these moments only feel real when I know you felt them with me. This is the night I turned 18 and came back after midnight, so get comfy. Seriously, grab the coziest blanket you own, turn the lights down low, maybe make yourself some tea or hot chocolate, because this one is long, soft, and full of every single detail that still makes me smile when I remember them. The official birthday was over. Everyone had gone home. I'd blown out the candles, opened the presents, hugged my parents goodnight, changed into pajamas, brushed my teeth, climbed into bed, and stared at the ceiling for 2 straight hours. Because the conversation with Mark earlier that night felt unfinished at the party, we'd talked like we always do. Easy, familiar, a little too long when no one was looking. He'd wished me happy birthday in front of everyone, handed me a small wrapped box, a silver necklace with a tiny star pendant that I'm wearing right now, and said all the right things, but his eyes said more. And mine probably did too. When the party ended, he walked me to my parents' car like he always does when events run late. We lingered by the door for a minute, saying goodnight, and I swear the air felt different, thicker, heavier. Like we were both standing on the edge of something and pretending we didn't notice. But I got in the car. I went home. I told myself the day was over, except it wasn't. Once midnight passed and the house was completely quiet, staying in bed felt impossible. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the way he looked at me when no one was watching. Every time I tried to sleep, I heard the things we didn't say, the way his voice softened when he said my name, the way his fingers brushed mine when he handed me the necklace, the way he smiled like he was holding back something big. I kept replaying the moment he gave me the gift, how he waited until everyone else was busy before pulling me aside, how he said, "This made me think of you," in that low voice that always makes my stomach flip. How his fingers lingered on mine when I opened the box, how he fastened the clasp for me, and his hand stayed on my neck a second longer than necessary. I knew if I let another sunrise happen without saying it out loud, I would chicken out forever. I would find 1,000 reasons why I should wait one more day, one more month, one more year. So I did the most rational thing an 18-year-old with zero chill can do at 12:47 a.m. on her birthday. I pulled his old navy hoodie back on, the one I'd worn all day and never actually gave back, slipped out the back door without turning on any lights, and started walking. 3 blocks, no phone this time, no plan, just me, the cold night air stinging my cheeks, and a heart that refused to let the night end the way it did. I got to his house and stopped on the sidewalk. The porch light was off. The whole house was dark. I almost turned around. I told myself he was asleep, that this was crazy, that I could text him tomorrow and pretend everything was normal. But then I saw the faint glow from his living room window, like the lamp was still on low, the crooked one I always tease him about. Walked up the steps, raised my hand, knocked once, soft like I was afraid to wake him if he was sleeping. The door opened almost immediately. Mark was standing there in sweatpants and a faded t-shirt, hair messy like he'd been lying on the couch, eyes blinking against the darkness, and then going completely soft when he saw me. "Sarah?" His voice was low and raspy and full of surprise and something gentler I couldn't name yet. He stepped onto the porch, pulling the door half closed behind him. "Why did you come back after midnight?" I swallowed so hard I'm pretty sure the crickets heard it. I just turned 18, I said, the words coming out smaller than I meant, and I went home and told myself the day was over. But it didn't feel over. The conversation we had earlier, it felt unfinished. And once midnight passed, staying in bed felt harder than walking back here. He didn't laugh. He didn't tell me to go home. He just looked at me for a long moment, eyes searching mine in the dark. You could have texted, he said softly, but there was no push in it, just understanding. I know, I whispered, but texting felt too small, and waiting until morning felt like giving up. The night was so quiet, I could hear both of us breathing. He stepped closer, close enough that I could feel the warmth coming off him. Then don't give up, he said, voice barely above a whisper, and then he reached for my hand. I gave it to him without thinking. He pulled me gently inside, the door clicking shut behind us. The porch light flicking off like it knew its job was done. The house was dark except for that single living room lamp, glowing low, the crooked one I always tease him about. We stood in the hallway for a second, just looking at each other. Then he said, "Tell me what you came back to say." I took the deepest breath I'd taken all night. "I love you," I said. The words came out clear and steady and true, like they'd been waiting their whole lives to be spoken in this exact hallway, under this exact light. I've loved you every single day I wasn't allowed to say it, and I'm 18 now, Mark, and I couldn't let the night end without telling you. The silence that followed was the fullest silence I've ever known. Mark looked at me for the longest moment, eyes shining in the dim light, and then he smiled, small, soft, like sunrise after the longest night. "I've loved you longer than I've known how to say," he whispered. "I was just waiting for the night you were brave enough to come back after midnight." He reached for my face, fingers brushing my cheek like he was making sure I was real. And then he kissed me, slow, gentle, perfect, like every almost we'd ever had just turned into forever. So yeah, that's the night I turned 18 and came back after midnight. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is go home and then decide the story isn't over yet. If this made your heart do the little fluttery thing, give it a big thumbs up, drop a comment with the moment that got you the most, and if you're new here, subscribe, because there are so many more stories coming. Thank you for being here with me while I tell this one. It still feels like the best kind of magic every single time I think about it. See you in the next one.